Do we finally know what the first product of Meghan Markle's American Riviera orchard will be? Well, apparently, according to a report on the Daily Mail, which I do take somewhat with a grain of salt, it'll be rosé wine. Yes, a company named American Riviera Orchards first product will be wine, rosé wine, which is a trend from like 5 or 10 years ago. And obviously as well, we have jams, we've had dog biscuits. Nothing so far about the brand even relates to orchards. So I found this rather interesting because I was going through this article again on the Daily Mail written by Richard Eden and Alison Bosthoff. And I was just sort of fascinated because I was reading through this going, does Meghan Markle even know what a brand is? Does Meghan Markle even know how to grow a business? Because this looks sort of atrocious because it sounds like she wants people to be aspirational, like see her brand as inspiration and aspiration. But honey, you live in a $15 million mansion. That's just not aspirable for most people. And so I feel like there's a disconnect between what Meghan Markle wants her brand to be and what it actually is. And is she even cultivating the right customer base? Because you can look at an example like Goop for Gwyneth Paltrow, and she is cultivating a luxury base, more money, those sorts of things. Whereas Megan is like, I don't know where your base will be. Do you even know? Because she hasn't even tested the market yet. All she's doing right now is giving her friends homemade jam that she made, allegedly, from her home and the stuff that she's grown on her property, which is not able to be sellable. So she's showing off things with her label that nobody will ever be able to purchase. Like, this is just atrociously bad. And as I went through this article, I really thought this is a great thing to highlight because it needs to be explained, like, what's going wrong here and how I think she's already setting up her brand for disaster. I mean, I've said all the whole time, I think the brand's a wreck and I still think so. But there's even more things here I'm looking at going, you don't know what you're doing, do you? Now, of course, we don't know how much of this is true or not, but I feel like most of the time Richard Eden's been sort of spot on here. And somebody raised an interesting question too. Is Megan the one who wrote this? Is she the one who gave them this information? I think that's an interesting thought to consider as well. And so we are going to look at this today and digest and analyze this article because it is going to be so fun. If you guys haven't been to Royal News Network before, my name is Brittany. I provide you all compelling royal commentary. So if you want to hit that subscribe button, I'd absolutely love to have you back. We have a ton of fun here. And speaking of brands, one of the brands I work with is Ana Lucia Diamonds, and they sent me 2 new things. Now, I will be totally honest and say that I did open one of them and wear one of them a bit already, but I'm so excited to share them with you because they're actually going to go with an outfit that I'm planning to do a fashion video for, which will probably be tomorrow because I'm running out of time today. And so all the Ana Lucia, they're all lab grown diamonds and they come with a certificate of authenticity. And I even did my nails, guys, because one of the rings was so pretty. And I realized sometimes when I show off the rings, I was like, oh, my nails look so bad. I really need to maybe start doing my nails. These are like the cheapo fake nails from Target, but I like them because they're super short and they last like a couple of days, maybe a week if I'm lucky. So the first one is, the ring. And I gotta say, guys, I've been wearing this thing. It's an eternity band and it's a half carat one. It has 7 stones and it is absolutely magnificent. And so I cut the size to fit it on my ring finger because I really do want to wear this like all the time. Oh, isn't that sitting? It's not glowing or you can't get the sparkle quite as well here, but I will do one in the sunshine here before too long. But so stunning. I feel like it goes really well with the tennis bracelet here. So you just got like just a very classic look together. I'm so excited 'cause planning on wearing this every day. It's like I feel like this is like one of the most impressive pieces of jewelry I've ever. I am wearing, of course, my stud earrings here too. And they're like a flower style stud. They don't have them anymore, unfortunately, but I really like them. But the next thing I got, which I'm super excited about, and I've wanted for a while from them, because I saw it on their website and I just loved it, is this so pretty cross necklace. Because I've wanted a nice diamond cross necklace for quite a while. Catherine does have one. She wore it to trooping and like a couple other things. But now that I've put these fake nails on, I don't know if I can actually get this on myself. So this might be something I have to do myself here later. Oh, yes. Oh, I did it all myself, guys. Oh, it's so pretty. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. These are like, oh, just so classic pieces. And I'm so excited. I even do my nails. I love it when I do these things, but I hate them at the same time because they're uncomfortable somewhat. They don't really stick for very long. But I felt like since I was getting something new I wanted to show off, it was time to do that. So if you guys like Anna Lucy and if you want any of this, you can get it for 20% off by using the code ROYAL20. And I'm just so excited about this. I can't even tell you how excited I am about this one. So, anyways, guys, let's get into the article though. So, again, it says revealed Meghan's real money spinner. No, it's not jam, but something much more lucrative. As a Netflix deal looks to be back on and is key to making the Sussexes millions. Now, I actually take issue with this, and that's why I think this could be potentially a Meghan plant because Netflix is not in the lifestyle business. They are in the entertainment business. Those are two different things, two very, very different things. And so Netflix is worried about entertainment. They're worried about creating shows that people binge and watch over and over and over again. That's what they're interested in doing and always adding something new to their catalog. How in the world are they supposed to make any money off a lifestyle brand? Like, really? Because there's been a lot of lifestyle brand failures over the year. You know, you got Blake Lively with Preserve. I don't know even if Poosh from Kourtney Kardashian has ever been a great success. I don't think it has been. And so I think it's still active, but the lifestyle brands have a limit and they're not always successful. And the problem Meghan Markle has, of course, is that she's not well liked. I even pulled up an article today from Germany because I was looking for pictures of somebody else, and it called Meghan Marmalade Meghan. And somebody tweeted at me like the ending sentence, which was not flattering. And yes, it's not a great publication. They copy things from English websites. But I think the whole big thing I saw is that Meghan just does not have good press really anywhere. So I don't think Netflix is going, yeah, you know what? We're going to dump a whole bunch of money into creating cookware, wine, whatever she wants without really any guarantee. Because the problem is once you have product, you got to get rid of your product. And that can be kind of hard. So let's begin. So it just talks about, her jam, which we've seen before, and the dog biscuits, which again, it doesn't seem like anybody's going to be able to buy. But it says the jam, say sources close to the Duchess, will have been made from fruit grown in the gardens of her home in Montecito, which she shares with Prince Harry and their children, Archie and Lilibet. Okay, so again, this is absolutely idiotic. Why are you teasing products that are from your home garden that you will never, ever, ever be able to sell? This is stupid. This is idiocy. Why would you do this? Like, seriously, from a business perspective, why would you tease products that you can never ever sell? Like, that's just dumb. Why would you do that? It's like Apple going, oh, we have this great technology for Apple Watch, but guess what? We're only giving it to our friends and family, nobody else. I mean, I'm sure there's aspects of Apple, like some small things that maybe only workers or other people get, but we can all buy an Apple Watch. Why in the world would you have your friends tease products that no one can ever, ever buy? That's just, again, lunacy. It's idiocy. It is not how you run a business. Because apparently and this I feel like sort of tracks, but regardless of her raspberry crop, which was apparently absolutely abysmal, plans are well in progress for Meghan's lifestyle brand, which will be inspired by the couple's enviable lifestyle in their $15 million mansion in California. This says 10 million pounds. I think it's more like 14 to 15 million. And so it says front and center, the new brand will be, of course, Meghan herself, which she has yet to do. She has launched a brand and not put her face in front of it at all. Her video on American Riviera Orchard when she launched it on stories was blurry. You couldn't really see her. You couldn't really see what she was doing. You could kind of guess. We saw flower arranging. We saw cooking. We saw her standing on a veranda in a $3,500 gown, because that's what we all do is we all stand on our verandas in a $3,500 gown talking to our dog. I should do that. I don't have a $3,500 gown, and I don't talk to my dog on the veranda because that's kind of crazy. I mean, I talk to my dog all the time, let's be honest, but not on a veranda, which again is weird. And according to the source with intimate knowledge of the launch, it will sell Meghan as a beacon of inspiration, aspiration, and attainability. This again is sort of idiocy. Meghan Markle's lifestyle is not attainable for 99.9% of the world. She lives in a $15 million mansion. $15 million. And she wants people to think that's attainable. Even the Kardashians aren't that stupid. The Kardashians are like, yeah, they flaunt their lifestyle. They know they're elite. And that's what works. Is if you are living in a $15 million mansion and going, oh yeah, you can be just like me. No, that's dumb. You can't. I can't. I don't have a $15 million mansion. I don't even have a $10 mansion, a $1 million mansion. I don't have that. So how can I feel attainability from Meghan Markle's brand when she herself is so unattainable. Like, she hardly appears at things sometimes. And she's like trying to give her neighbors jam. It's like, yeah, that's attainable because everybody can do it, but that's not really, but we don't all get our own individual like little crests made and have like a crest on top, like this whole fancy thing. Most people can't afford that. They just give people jam and just put a sticky thing on it and write what it is. Maybe they'll do something a little bit fancier. But this sounds dumb. This does. And this sounds absolutely silly. She's not a beacon of inspiration. She's not creative. I actually did a whole video that I'm uploading right now that you'll see before this, which I'll link here too, is that Meghan Markle is boring. This woman hasn't really achieved anything. She has married all of her achievement. She had one role, decent role on a television show, nothing really else all that significant in her career. She hasn't really achieved anything. So how is she inspirational? How is she inspirational for me? I'm running a better business than she is. And I run it from my house all by myself. I write, I edit, I film, I do all sorts of different things, trying to manage all sorts of different things. I've designed things like shirts and stuff. Like, so I don't understand how I'm supposed to be inspired by Meghan Markle, the woman whose sole achievement is marrying into the royal family, dumping the royal family, and having a failing career in Hollywood. An aspiration. Oh, it's aspiration versus attainability. Okay, yeah, of course. So, and it's supposed to be aspirational. Well, aspiration, like, but we all can't be millionaires. So how are we supposed to be, it says her style will be sold as affordably elegant, while her image will be centered on her status as both a family-oriented and regal figure. No laughing at that. At the back, please. Which again is completely disconnected from what her brand actually is right now. So Markle's brand is toxic, cosplay royal, failed actress, married to Harry, mom to 2 kids, and, disconnected from her family, like all the family, disconnected to Harry from his. Like, her brand is very, very toxic. So it's not family oriented because she doesn't spend any time with her kids as far as we can tell. And again, she might have spent tons of time with him, but we don't know because we never see her with her children. Again, this is the disconnect with her brand. We have to see you with your children to believe you're a parent of your children. Again, this is just simple marketing and messaging. So she's not that. And she's not a regal figure. She's a train wreck. Catherine can sell a regal figure. Meghan Markle cannot. Meghan Markle's fashion, 9/10 of the time, looks like a bit of a train wreck. And she dressed a little bit like a hussy when she was in Nigeria. Cutouts, thigh high slits in the front, which I always think is a bit crass. Yes, side is fine. But like ones that go up the front, overall, anybody who wears those, I don't like them. And spaghetti straps, strapless, like all sorts of things. Like, it was such a lack of regality. There was no regalness in her wardrobe. Her wardrobe was a mess. None of the looks worked really. A couple of them kind of sort of did, but she's not regal. So how can she sell regalness and affordability when this woman regularly walks around? I mean, we've seen them a couple times in $900 Hermes sandals. Nothing this woman ever wears is under $500. So how is it affordably elegant? See, again, this is the thing between messaging and branding. So like, she wants her messaging to be affordably elegant. Well, what she needs to do is follow Catherine's example, who mixes designer duds and high street. Or even Queen Latifah. Queen Latifah does a great job. She wears a lot of high street brands that are affordable for the vast majority of people. You look at it, her suit is like, total thing is 100 euros for the pants and the blazer. And she elevates it by looking pretty good. Although she's been more hit and miss lately, or more miss than I should say hit. But she has this great ability to kind of mix regalness with very much affordability. Some other royal families aren't quite that good at it. I would say Maxima is probably not great at it. She tends to go for a lot of designer things or things that are sort of made for her. Monaco's the same way, but Monaco, of course, very elevated. But you do have like the Swedes, they wear a lot of H&M when they can. And H&M, of course, very, very affordable brand. And so Meghan, since marrying into the royal family, she is so nouveau riche. How in the world is she supposed to sell affordable elegance when she carefully places a $2,500 to $3,000 Hermes cashmere throw over the back of her couch? Is she going to rip off Hermes? Like, and try to, I mean, it's just a bad idea. This is just very, very bad. I think she should go the goop route. So I don't really see totally a slogan here, but at least when it comes to beauty, it's clean, holistic, and results driven is the idea. And goop is very much, I would think, geared towards the luxury market. And so she says we launched Goop from her kitchen as a homespun weekly newsletter. It's grown a lot since then. We operate from a place of curiosity, non-judgment, and we start hard conversations, crack open taboos, and look for connection and resonance wherever we can find it. We don't mind being the tip of the spear, or in short, we go first so you don't have to. We're glad you're here. And so you also see here too, which I thought was really interesting, is like the whole timeline of it goes to show how much work went into building this. Like it was slowly, slowly building. This. In 1972, Gwyneth Paltrow is born, guys. And so she starts kind of getting into this. And when did she first start? Oh, first newsletter was sent to 10,377 subscribers in 2008, and it's grown steadily since. And I think it's a really, really smart to do it that way. And I think it's like, again, this is very much a luxury brand. And they're not saying that necessarily, but they price themselves in a certain way. So we have this G label by Goop. This is $525. The mascara definitely is on the higher end, I would say, but not terribly so. Most of this 145, most people $750. Like this stuff is pretty unaffordable for most. And so this is not a brand trying to cater and trying to make luxury affordable. It just is what it is. And so I just think, again, the messaging and the brand Meghan Markle, they're not communicating well. Like she is not aspirational. She's not inspirational. She's not attainable, her lifestyle at least. And it's not really affordably elegant either. And the big question is, will Meghan Markle wear her own stuff? That's my big question. Will Meghan Markle use her own stuff? Because she's so obsessed with labels and brands and stuff. Will she even be willing to use her own stuff that doesn't have the best label or designer in the world? That is the question, because what she has shown us for the past couple of years, especially since leaving the royal family, is everything she wears is new. Everything she wears, like every outfit is like $5,000 in clothing sometimes or more. One piece could cost $5,000. And so it's all insanely expensive. Her jewelry is all insanely expensive. Nothing about her life right now is affordable to anyone. So how is she going to sell it? How is she going to sell it? So customers will be urged to embrace her and her innate elegance and to elevate the everyday. And the elegance, I feel like, is, obviously a spin off the royal family, but Meghan Markle is not elegant. All you have to do is see her in that hideous red gown to see the woman is not elegant. She is not. That was a hideous outfit. A lot of hideous outfits with Meghan Markle. And so she is not even elegant herself. So how is she going to sell it? How is she going to sell it? And who is she selling it to? We can reveal, however, that the much publicized gems will not be the first out of the traps, as the money spinner for Meghan Markle Inc. indeed is, they seem to be something of a red herring, rather, which again, stupidity. Rather, a source tells us the priority will instead be a launch of a rosé wine, because there's no rosé wines out there. I bought this at a supermarket because I thought it looked pretty. I'm not really a wine drinker like at all, but I just thought it looked pretty. It's Fleur de Mer, Côtes de Provence. It's from 2002. I have no clue if this is good for it or not. But looking at this, I can safely say, no, there's a lot of wines out there. What is going to make her special? It's the same situation with the jam. Same situation with the jam. How is she going to sell it? How is she going to market her product as different than everybody else's? Again, we don't have any of those answers yet. And she hasn't even answered that with the jam. But of course, if she was never intending to sell the jam, she was just showing the jam, which is stupid. It's just stupid. Okay. Yeah. All right, let's keep going. Makes infinite commercial sense for Meghan's first product to be wine. She's following the path of well-trodden, as many other celebrities have their own wine ranges, from Cameron Diaz to George Clooney, Kylie Minogue, Francis Ford Coppola, and Brad Pitt. As a product, wines are far more aspirationally marketable, not to mention financially lucrative, than humble jam. Well, jam was just a dumb idea anyways. But you also see the innate problem here. This path is well-traveled. A lot of people have done X already. So how are you offering something new? Like when I started my channel, It was sort of like I really only 2 channels I was really familiar with was probably maybe Lady C, but also just really According to Taz and Murky Meg. That was it. And I wanted my own version out there because I wanted to talk about tiaras. I wanted to talk about the other families. I wanted to talk about a lot of different things and things I wasn't seeing online. And so I felt like I was, yes, following something somebody else had done, but I was doing a lot of different things. The problem with a singular product like wine is that it's been done, number one, for thousands upon thousands of years, but also it's already a path a lot of celebrities have gone down. So you already have they're already pushing against the headwinds already because so many people have done it already. And there is there a place for you? That's the question. And I don't know if there is for Megan. And it doesn't help when first product that you show to the world is jam like this. Oh gosh, still such the worst strategy in the world. Take arguably the most well-known celebrity wine, the Armand de Brignac champagne, which is owned by rapper Jay-Z until he sold 50% stake to LVMH Wines and Spirits arm Monet Hennessy for a reported 300 million. But Jay-Z is also a phenomenal businessman. Meghan Markle has not proved one iota that she has a lick of business sense. Not a lick. Bottles of the champagne, which is also known as the Ace of Spades, can sell for around $800 a pop thanks to strictly limited production run, which ensures exclusivity. But Meghan Markle wants to do affordable luxury, which again, I can go to a store right now. Maybe I'll go to one this evening and get some like background footage, and I can show you guys a ton of wine and a ton of rosé wine. There's nothing luxurious about it, especially if Megan's wanting to go for affordable luxury. He sold something that was exclusive. Meghan Markle wants affordable luxury. Ergo, you need to be able to have people actually purchase it. Not sure if Megan can do that. Meanwhile, on a larger scale, Brad Pitt's critically acclaimed Miraval Rosé is flying off supermarket shelves for around $25 a bottle, even without Angelina's assistance. While Sting's organic Tuscan Red, made from grapes from his own vineyard, also sells well for around 330. But again, you have the extra thing of it being from his own vineyard. Meghan Markle doesn't have a vineyard, and she stupidly named her brand American Riviera Orchard, not vineyard. Even Idris Elba and his Port Noir champagne, which is on the shelves at Harvey Nichols for 885 pounds a bottle. SJP has something. Yeah, for the businesswoman, Megan clearly had spotted a solid financial prospect in this, her latest potential cash cow. She has had no cash cows yet. The only person who's made a boatload of money for them is Prince Harry with his book Spare. That's been their most successful venture. And the Netflix series. That's it. That's it. So she has no cash cow yet. Her latest potential cash cow. That I should have highlighted that. Potential. Because we've had a lot of potentials that have all fallen flat. All fallen flat. Aside from the bottom line, Rosé has long been Meghan's favorite everyday tipple, far more than the fancy Italian red Tignello, after which she named her previous lifestyle brand, the Tig, which is also kind of dumb. So you named your previous lifestyle brand after a particular wine, yet you're not going to produce that wine, which you made such a big point of. Everybody needs to have a Tig moment. Again, this to me shows she has no vision. She's just chasing a paycheck. Because when you have vision and you are really passionate about something, the route to go kind of is to sort of pseudo resurrect the Tig and do this at the same time and create the best Tiganello wine ever. But no, she's going with something pedestrian like rosé, like jam. Again, something everybody can get from the supermarket right now. And yes, these things have a potential to make a lot of money. They do. But there's a lot of, I think, questions there as well. Will the wine be good? Is your wine going to be better than anybody else's? Is Meghan Markle's face going to be plastered on this label? Because, it has to be about Meghan. Why are you buying a wine that was made in an orchard? Doesn't make sense. Why are you buying American Riviera orchard wine? Grapes are grown in a vineyard. It doesn't make sense. Like, from even a messaging standpoint, it doesn't make sense. I'm like so confused. Which is not good. Again, her brand and messaging should be clear. She fails at that test at every single stage. Like a good California influencer, which is like everybody else in the entire world. Like there's a bunch of California-based influencers. Megan, again, proving that she's not special because she was royal at one point. So that made her actually really special. Now she's just like every other California-based influencer. Yeah. Step up there, Megan from the royal family for sure. She loves a glass of the pink stuff and also a fan of every Instagrammer's favorite drink, a frosé, which is made by freezing rosé wine and mixed into a slushy with strawberries and some icing sugar for extra sweetness. That actually does sound kind of good. Rosé has emotional connotations too. Back in 2016, on their initial dates in London's Soho House, she and Harry, she and Harry reportedly drank a number of glasses of it. Do men like rosé? I would think men would like either red or white wine or prefer a beer. I would imagine Harry's more of a beer guy, to be honest. It wasn't just any old pink plong, though. It would have been an inhibiting Lady A, the rosé made for the Soho House executive Marcus Anderson, which is a private members club named after Anderson's nickname. Handsome, sophisticated Anderson is one of Meghan's closest and longest standing friends. Not only was he in good seats at her wedding, he was also trusted to organize her small and super private hen party at the Soho House. So, yes, the Soho House obsession continues, and this terrible video with blurry background and everything still is not selling her brand. So, they describe his bottle of rosé features a picture of Damien Hirst butterfly and is made from a giant Chateau de la Coste in France. Might they be making Meghan's rosé? Well, nobody at the company confirmed or denied that this week, which is sort of an indication that that might be true. And a spokesperson for the Duchess did not return requests for comments on anything to do with American Riviera Orchard, probably because they have nothing to say because they have no stinking clue what's going on. Because this brand is a mess. To complement the reported wine launch, it's expected that other products in the initial tranche of the releases will be drinking and serving wear, bar essentials, and other products related to hosting and entertaining. We can expect items in classic but expensive style. But I thought it was affordable luxury. Now I'm confused again. Again, this is a mess. This is an absolute mess. Happily for Meghan, the launch of her lifestyle brand, which she has been planning for at least 18 months, it doesn't show Meghan Markle. It's a mess. It's the worst brand launch I have ever seen. Has also now positively electrified her relationship with the streaming giant Netflix, which has been in the doldrums since after the initial success of their Harry and Meghan documentary in 2022. By the time of Harry's documentary in Heart of Invictus in August 2023, sources were calling for the couple's $100 million deal with Netflix a dead duck because of the lack of output and the apparent lack of ideas from the couples. But it's not just lack of ideas, it's lack of good performance. Their stuff failed hard. And so it goes on. Undeterred, however, the Sussexes then got Netflix to buy the rights to a romantic novel, Meet Me at the Lake, for them in August last year. There is, however, yet no sign of a script or anything going into production, which means that is a dead duck. Their possible ideas for filming were said to be at the very early stages, according to executive Bella Bajaria, who has the task of making the association work. Must be a tough field to plow. Harry managed a couple of days of filming a polo documentary earlier this year. It's hard to see that proving to be a blockbuster. Of course, it's not. The expectation is that the deal will be gently allowed to run out, not be renewed. Netflix would pay 50, at the end of the day, probably just be out 50 million. And again, a lot of that would be tied up in Harry and Meghan's productions, but honestly, as well, who knows? But that was before Meghan's lifestyle brand Wheeze. Sources say Netflix weren't involved initially in Meghan's plans to launch American Riviera Orchard, but certainly are now, having been asked by the Duchess to get involved in the production of a cookery show. Okay, Netflix is not a lifestyle brand. They are okay with the cooking show. They'll let it go forwards, but they are cautious. It's a cheap thing to produce. So they're like, oh, yeah, this is cheap. Let's just let her have her fun and see if it goes anywhere. It goes anywhere, great. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Like at this point, I think they are done. Harry and Meghan are a dry well. They have nothing to offer. They really don't. They are not creatives. She doesn't have an original idea. Even her American Riviera Orchard lacks originality, lacks interest, horrible brand name, so many bad things about it. Prospect of this has delighted the streaming service. Put simply, Netflix has now turbocharged Meghan's plans, which she announced artfully filmed video. It wasn't artfully filmed. It was kind of dumb. For social media in April. It was March. And are going full on into American Riviera Orchard business, taking over all executive roles, delivering deals with wholesalers, designers, growers, and retailers. I highly doubt this. Why would they do this? Unless they control and they get a big chunk of it in return. They're not in the lifestyle business. Why in the world would they pay for like wholesale merchandising, all these sorts of things, which costs a lot of money upfront that you're not guaranteed to get back? That's a huge risk. Why would Netflix risk that? Makes no sense. It makes no sense. So to me, I call foul on that because yes, Netflix could get involved in that, but I just don't think so unless they're like really hoping that this is a huge success. But again, it's just a cooking show. I mean, some of these small productions don't cost a lot of money. You can get a big return on, but this just doesn't. I mean, this doesn't make any sense to me. Why would you be like, yeah, let's just buy into all this, fill all the executive roles, and make Meghan a lot of money? No, Netflix is into it to make Netflix a lot of money. So my only thought here that could be happening is that Netflix is basically taking over 75% of this brand. She is letting them invest 75% or 50 to 75% so they can take care of a lot of things she can't. I would go for 75 if I was Netflix. But again, too, if it fails, then it's on Netflix. And it has a high probability of fail, let's be honest. Megan's lawyers has, applied for the trademark for a variety of goods, edible oils, napkins, recipe books, tablecloths. Megan's future commercial path is clear with now Netflix understood to be on board. Both sides appear to be thinking, forget Telly. A lifestyle brand could be where the real money lies. No, it's not. It's a high risk. It's a high risk. You have to actually get again. Fact is, Netflix already merchandise hundreds of lines, everything from Bridgerton China sold in Primark to Bridgerton tea sets sold at Liberty London. But that is for a very, very successful show. No guarantee Megan's stuff is that going to be that successful. And I should have added as well is that Netflix can license this stuff. I doubt Netflix is actually responsible for making any of this teaware or anything like that. What they're doing, if they're smart, is licensing it to other companies. You see this actually a lot on Shark Tank. They're like, have you licensed it? Have you licensed it? Because that way the burden is really on a larger company to fulfill the order rather than the burden being on you. So at this point, if Megan is involved with Netflix in this, it could be a complicated thing of licensing it to Netflix to license it to somebody else. You're starting to get a little convoluted there, but if I was Netflix, that's what I would be doing. I would not be putting my own money back this really because they're not in, again, the manufacturing business. They're in the entertainment business. You license it to somebody else to produce products. Yes, you get a kickback, but you license it to other companies who actually make things like Liberty for London so that they can make the things that you don't really want to make. But again, if it's like a third party, then Megan is in a deal with Netflix to license it to other people. That's starting to get a little convoluted. Of course, always could happen, but I should have added that as well. There's a Love is Blind branded wine after the reality dating show, and Stranger Things lines include pizza and ice cream. Yes, they do lines, but for successful things. You don't launch a whole Stranger Things line without it being a success. Netflix says it's Generation Alpha's favorite brand, meaning those age 14 to under. And beyond question, its clout is immense. Executives point out that Netflix was the biggest streamer 49 out of 52 weeks. Little doubt Megan could use her cooking show to shop her brand. Of course, the rewards could be huge. Just look at the riches enjoyed by Gwyneth Paltrow to Goop, which was a longstanding success. And she really cultivated that to appeal to her audience. And Reese Witherspoon's company, Hello Sunshine. But of course, the difference between Meghan Markle and those two women is those two women have talent. And so far, Meghan Markle, we can't see much of that. So she started filming in Montecito. So it talks about kind of some other cooks. And so let's get down here. So what are we expecting from the show? Netflix won't comment at all. It seems to be a so-called chop and chat format, which could be as nails on a chalkboard as her podcast, which was Nails on a Chalkboard bad. So obviously, Serena Williams, actress Abigail Spencer will be on, which sounds like it'll almost be a repeat of Archetypes, which is, we already get that? We already got that, right? Right? Gloria Steinem, maybe. Again, all these people she's already talked to. And of course, she's put off the interviews for Lemonada, too worried that might compete with American Riviera Orchard. Yeah, no, just doesn't, it sounds like she's kind of too lazy and doesn't want to do two things at once. Due course, we should be able to buy American Riviera Orchard bedding, pillows, soaps, home decor, fragrances, cookbooks, and cookie mixes. Eventually, if demand is sufficient, it seems like there will even be some kind of physical shop, as her trademark application also appears to extend to a space where items could be sold. Yeah, because, what is not dying in America is retail. Right? Right. Went to Best Buy last weekend to pick up, to exchange a camera. There was nobody in there on Saturday afternoon at a busy supermarket, or not supermarket, but shopping area. There was nobody in the Best Buy. So yeah, that sounds like kind of a dumb idea. Last thing I would do is retail. Will the world be buying what she is selling? Of course. Who would bet against the determined Duchess and the mighty Netflix? I think I'd bet against them personally. Meghan Markle has yet to prove she has an original idea. She has yet to prove that she has an original product. I mean, she sold pedestrian, banal products so far, or given them to her friends. I can't see her brand overall being any different. This is a mess. And so far, she has yet to actually shop anything that's related to her brand name, American Riviera Orchard. Does she think that when it comes to orchards that, vineyards and orchards are the same thing? I don't think they are. So it's just again something where I don't think Meghan Markle knows what she's doing. And I look at these plans and I think Netflix, I would launch with maybe 3 products at the most 5 and see if you can get anywhere. Because unfortunately, Meghan Markle is not a bankable product so far. You guys have seen this. We have seen this all demonstrated. Yes, oh yes, she can generate a lot of noise, but doesn't convert. It doesn't convert. And I don't think her lifestyle brand will be any different because unfortunately, she's always so far behind the times. You look at everything Megan is doing is going, wasn't that done better by somebody else more accomplished than you 5 years ago, 10 years ago? She's so far behind the time. She is dragging her feet when she should be running as fast as possible. The game changes constantly anymore. You can't just rely on your title to get you places because, yes, the Sussex stands will buy everything you sell, but will everybody else? I don't see a brick and mortar store in your future. I don't see that much success here so far. And the plan and the messaging of this brand is non-existent. It's all over the place. It's confusing. I don't know who your customers are, who you are marketing to, what you're trying to be. I don't even know the message of your brand. And it's been hanging out there doing nothing for over 3 months now. Meghan Markle, when it comes to this old brand launch and everything, I hate to say it, um, could kind of debate that, but this has been an absolute flop, and I think will continue to do so. Yes, it may do well initially on the release, but I don't really see it being a huge, massive success because everything Harry and Meghan touch seems to turn into a giant turd, not a bar of gold. So, guys, let me know what you think of this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I shall see you soon. Bye.